Hello Bookends, and welcome to a new 10 Men check-in. I'm 10. So today's check-in is going to be about a movie that I just saw that really touched me. It's called Welcome to Marwen. Marwen. So you may be thinking, why is she talking about a movie? This is a book review channel. Well, you're absolutely correct. The movie is based on the autobiography and documentary about a man by the name of Mark Holgenkamp. So, just to kind of break it down for you, on April 8th, 2000, Mr. Holgenkamp was at a bar, drinking. He was an alcoholic, but that didn't give the people the right to do what they did to him. But, yeah, he was at a bar drinking, and he just casually released to a couple of guys that he wore heels and nylons at home, not out in public, but at home, to make him feel closer to women, as a way of feeling the essence of women. The men left. They showed no sign of aggression. He continued to drink. A few hours later, when he came out, they were out there waiting for him, and they beat him so bad that they kicked the memories out of him. When I say kicked the memories out of him, Mark had no memory of anything before he was beaten. So his childhood, his past relationships, his parents, everything was beaten out of him. They beat him so badly, he had to spend 40 days in the hospital. Now, in the movie, it made out as though he was released from the hospital because he was well. In all actuality, he was released from the hospital because his Medicaid ran out, not because he was actually in a position to be able to take care of himself. Also, in the movie, it shows that he was released into a home, his own home. A home, I guess, in upstate New York. Not a very nice home in upstate New York, but upstate New York. In real life, though, he was living with his roommate, and so he was released, of course, to his roommate, and I think his roommate was named Tom, and he helped to take care of him until he had to go to move for work, and then he lived with his mom, and eventually he got his own place. So, just something I wanted to touch on really quick. Oh, let me just show you. Welcome to Marwen. Marwen. I keep saying Merwin because Merlin, and it's just stuck in my head, Merlin. But welcome to Marwen. This is from the movie. And just something that kind of stuck with me. He got beat up. First of all, they had no reason to beat him up. But he got beat up because he liked to wear women's shoes because it made him feel closer to women. That being said, I wear my husband's clothes. I'm wearing his hoodie right now for this video. Not because I feel as though I want to be a man, because I don't. Not because I feel attracted to women, because also I don't. But because it makes me feel closer to him. Especially something he's worn already. If it smells like his deodorant, or if it smells like his cologne or his aftershave, if it just smells like him, it makes me feel closer to him. It's like wearing a hug. It's like I'm wearing the essence of my husband. And when I'm feeling anxious or scared or nervous, it's kind of calming to know, okay, this is this is from someone that I love. It's calming. If I walked out in the street wearing his hoodie, which I've done plenty of times, no one's going to look at me funny and say, oh my God, why is that woman wearing a man's hoodie? No. But if the roles were reversed and a man did it, people would look at him like, ugh, gay. Even though it has nothing to do with sex or sexuality, but more so mentality. So I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, he basically he got beat up because he told someone about what gives him a security blanket feeling. So anyway, back to the movie. So So in Marwen, welcome to Marwen, as in his real life as well, he could no longer draw. He was an artist in his previous life, but of course he can't remember what that was. So basically, to give you some perspective, he was born in 1970, right? 1970. This incident happened in the year 2000. That's like 30 years of memories that got kicked out of his head because some jerks didn't like that he wore high heels at home. 30 years of memories gone. So anyway, because he could no longer draw, they damaged the left side of his head, the left side of his brain, and apparently that's where the creativity or drawing or art or something is housed in. And so because of that, he could no longer draw anymore. So he still had his flair for art, and he decided to, instead of creating pictures by drawing them, he decided to create them by taking them with a camera. So I'm just going to show you some of the dolls and tell you who they represented in the movie, of course. So her, the blonde, she represented a young lady who he was friends with at like a Hobby Lobby store, because he goes there a lot to buy new dolls and props and stuff. The lady next to her, she is a woman that he works with at the bar that he works at. So basically he like sweeps and cleans and stuff like that, and she cooks. This woman is an actress that he likes a lot. He feels close to her only because, not because he's crazy and thinks he actually knows her, but because he watches a lot of her films, and so he feels close to her. And of course, this is him. He calls, of course, the soldier that he has that embodies him isn't called Mark, he's called Hoagie. And Hoagie is brave. And, you know, basically he channels everything he wants to be that he feels that he isn't, even though he really kind of is. He channels that into Hoagie. You know, he feels like he's not brave even though he is brave. He feels as though he's not smart even though he is smart. He feels as though he's not wanted even though he is wanted. So yep, that's Hoagie. The woman next to him is Nicole. Now in the movie, the woman is Nicole with an E. No, without an E, so it's Nikol. In real life, the woman that he met was named Colleen, and she was married and had 3 children. There was nothing romantic between the two of them, just like there was nothing romantic between the two characters in the movie either. This is Julie. She's from the rehab center that he went to after he was brutally beaten, where he had to learn to eat again. Imagine, 30 years old, he has to learn to eat again. Let that sink in. Learning to eat. So she's the one who helped him at the rehabilitation center. She's also an amputee. She had her leg amputated in the war. And then finally, the last doll is a woman who comes to his house monthly, like a care service, like a government care service, where she comes and brings his medication and also his groceries for the month. So, some things where the movie and the autobiography differ. So in the movie, it mentions a character named Wendy. So Marwen comes from Mark, which is his first name, Wyn, which is Wendy, which is the name of the woman in the movie who found him. So in real life, though, in the movie it makes it sound like, okay, because of his disability, because of what happened to him, she couldn't handle it and she left. In all actuality, he did have a wife before he was beaten up, but they had divorced for years and years before the incident happened. So what happened to him had nothing to do with him losing Wendy in real life. Also, too, there's a doll called Deja. She has teal colored hair, like a bluish green colored hair, and she has a teal covered glove that goes all the way up to her forearm. And in Marwen, which is the town that he's created with these dolls and everything, with all the props, she is called, it's supposed to be in Berlin during World War II, so she's called the, I'm sorry, not Berlin, Belgium in World War II. So she is called the Belgian Witch of Marwen. And basically anyone who falls in love with Hoagie, remember the doll Hoagie, anyone who falls in love with Hoagie, she poofs away 55 million light years into the future. And as you watch, you find out that Deja, who has this teal colored hair, is actually his addiction, because the pills that he takes, they're teal colored as well. And so basically it's trying to say that his addiction is the reason why he can't connect to anyone. And let me just tell you how badly these people beat him, because he is addicted to the pills, but he was an alcoholic beforehand, right? Before all this happened, he was an alcoholic. They beat him so bad. They disturbed his skull so bad. They beat the alcoholism out of him. He lost so much of his memory. He wasn't even an alcoholic anymore. His body couldn't remember the taste of alcohol. Try to let that sink in. He was an addict. He was addicted to liquor, to alcohol. He was beaten so badly, he lost the memory of his own addiction. Now, if you're familiar with addiction, you know that it's more so a chemical reaction to chemical ingestion, which means you take something in, a chemical does something in your brain, it releases endorphins. This is great. Hey, we need more endorphins. Take more of the chemical in. Chemical result, more endorphins. Hey, this is great. His body forgot that. So yeah, I'm sorry. I'm so mad at the people who did that to him. But on a high note, he did beat the addiction in the movie and in the book as well. In the movie, he ends up asking out the lady from the Hobby Lobby type store. So you know, you end up hoping that they end up in a relationship. Although in real life, I couldn't find anything to say that he was in a relationship right now. But I'm happy that he's okay. So the 5 people who beat him. So in the movie, you see him at the sentencing. Now, he was afraid to go to the sentencing because he had PTSD. Try to keep in mind, 30 years of memories had been kicked out of his head. The only memories he had were of the earliest memories, I should say, he had, was of him being brutally beaten by these people. Not a hug from his mom, not a kiss from a first girlfriend. Brutally beaten by people. That is his first memory. And he has to go into court and testify against these people. Now, in the movie, he was able to take Hoagie, the doll, with him into the courthouse. In real life, he was given a teddy bear, a small teddy bear, by PTSD coach, who instructed him to channel all his feelings of anxiety and fear and pain into the bear. Like, you're not feeling this. The bear's feeling, give it to the bear. And I know it may sound like a silly thing to do, but if someone's in that kind of position where their feelings are so strong, they're debilitating, having something to project that feeling into is extremely helpful. And so he was able to testify. Now, in the movie, you don't find out how many years or what happens with these people. In real life, I believe only 2 of them went to jail for like 3 years, and the rest of the 3 got probation. And this is a hate crime. So, because they beat him, not because they bumped him or something like that, but because he said he wore heels. So basically, they called him like queer or gay or something, and then beat him because that was their perception of him. But no matter what happened, they couldn't take away the fact that he was an artist. They may have beat the memories out of him, but they couldn't beat the soul out of him. So he remained an artist. Even if he couldn't draw the way that he wanted to, he couldn't even write his name, he said. So they stole his ability to be able to write. But despite that, right, they couldn't steal his artistry. They couldn't steal the artistic soul that he has. I'm happy to say that he's doing well now, you know, as well as can be, I should say. You know, he has 18 years of memory. Well, 2000s Zero, 19 years of memories, you know, stored up now. Hopefully most of them are good. Here's an example of some of his work. His actual work, not the work from the producers in the movie, but his actual work. Now, even when you're looking at this up close, it does not look like dolls. It doesn't. It looks like something that a photographer for National Geographic took while he was in Iraq or something. But these are dolls. These are actual dolls that he staged. And he just used a digital camera to do this. So, you know, he really is talented. And something interesting that I saw another picture of him. Let me just pull it up. And this is him now. Of course, he's an older gentleman now. If he was 30, 18 years ago. So was he like 49 now, somewhere in that. He looks a bit older than his age, but with everything that happened, I can imagine why. But this is a picture of him. A recent picture of him at one of his art installations. Now, if you look close, I'm going to see if I can make it bigger. He has a doll that he's wearing around his neck. She has teal hair. That's Deja from the movie, the one that represented his addiction. So I'm wondering if the people who created the movie took some liberties, some discretions of, you know, went on their own discretion and said that Deja represented his addiction, or what? I guess she must represent something else now because he's carrying her around, so I guess she doesn't represent his addiction. Or maybe he is representing that he has, the way she looks almost tied up or prone. So maybe he's showing that he has control over his addiction now. I don't know. But it was a really good movie. I really recommend it. Not for anyone under, I know it's PG-13, but I wouldn't recommend it for anyone under 16 because there is language. It's not often, but it's there. And also the subject matter, you don't see him getting beat horribly, but you see them like kind of the actors pantomiming it. Yeah, it was a really good movie, and I would advise Googling him to find out how some of his artwork looks. He's really good at it. But yeah, that's it for this week's Tin Men check-ins. That makes 2 Tin Men check-ins if you missed the other one. It was an unboxing for Spearcraft, last one of the year. So thank you so much for watching Bookends, and tune in next Monday for our next book review. Bye!